Okay, so my sermon for today is stop going through crap that you actually don't have to go through. Don't go through mess that is actually not God's will for you to even have to deal with. So, let me give you the inspiration for why I'm doing today's topic. I watched a video of this woman who said that God gave her a dream. And in the dream, she was shown that her boyfriend was going to propose to her. And um, God told her to say no. Don't accept this proposal. He's going to propose to you. Say no. Say no. Say no. So, I think it was like 24 hours later, like the next day, he actually proposed to her and she said yes. She said yes, right? She said yes. And I think that you guys know where I'm going with this. Of course, it turned out horrible. It turned out straight trash. The cheating, the lying, the scam, the whole thing. And of course, he's terrible. But one of the things that I enjoyed about listening to her story is she got to the point where she made the statement, something like, I have to take accountability because I wasn't supposed to, I should have not, I was literally warned to say no. Like this, everything that I went through once I gave that yes, it was nothing that God wanted me to go through, right? And I like that she took accountability for it. I had a similar situation where I was involved with a man. Now, thank God I wasn't married. Thank the Lord I was not married. But even just dating this man that if I just did what I knew to do, if I just did what I knew to do, I never would have went through the pain, the trauma, the fear, the just oh my god, just dealing with this legion that this man had in him, okay? And it was horrible, terrible, all the stuff, right? But I will say that the reality is, if I did what God told me to do, clearly, none of that could have happened. None of it could have happened. And this was a man I was dating. I can't even, like, being married. Oh my goodness. It was horrible. And actually, that last relationship is the very thing that got me to the point to where I was like, you know what? I'm not dating anymore. At least in the traditional way that I think that most people think of when they think of dating. But again, I had to say, you know what? If I would have done what God clearly told me to do, if I would have stayed away from the things that God told me to stay away from, none of that could have happened, you know? I know of another story someone had told me, and this was a business deal. This was, business related. And this individual said they knew, they just had this feeling, right? That they were not supposed to go through on this deal with this particular individual. But guess what? They did it anyway. They did it anyway. And it went downhill. And it went downhill very quickly, right? And once again, of course, the person is, it is what it is. But the individual that I was speaking to basically said, I knew God told me not to do that. And I went ahead and did it anyway. And there was this sense of the realization that if you would have listened to God, that none of that would have happened, right? And this is not to say that, you can listen to God and things can still suck. We're in a fallen world. This isn't the thing. I'm not the person that's going to say just because you follow God and do everything, it doesn't mean, it doesn't mean everything's going to be perfect. We still live in a fallen world. I'm just saying that there is a lot of trash. There is a lot of trash that you get to avoid, okay? When you listen to what God tells you to do. Now, like I said, you can listen to what God tells you to do and very much not like it. It's not easy. We are living sacrifices, it's temptation is all over the place. We're human beings and, it is what it is. But it doesn't seem, it's not worth it. It just isn't worth it. It just isn't worth it. It just isn't worth it. I saw this video, and I've seen a few little videos like this. This woman was at a water park, right? And she was, I don't know, she must have went down this big slide or whatever. And she landed in the water. And when she landed in this water, she was like flailing and she was panicking and she was like thrashing. Like she was like fighting the water. You could tell this lady was just basically panicking. This seems like somebody that's like afraid of water, but they're like at a water park. And you heard the people who was like with the woman saying to her, stand up, like stand. And this lady is like she's panicking, she's thrashing, she's flailing her body. She's just like going crazy in this water. And the people are like, stand up, like just stand up. And, they were like laughing at her. Have you ever been in a situation like somebody's laughing at you, but at the same time, they're trying to help you? Because it was very clear that the woman was just in the water panicking. And they went to her and helped her to stand up. You guys, the water, all she had to do was stand up. The water was not over her head. This was a fully grown, tall, just a regular average sized grown woman, adult. All you had to do was stand up, stand on your feet. And I remembered watching this video of this woman just panicking and fighting for her life. Fighting for her life in like 3 feet of water. People says like, just stand up, put your feet down. And there was a moment where the person came and helped her stand up. And I just remembered looking at her like, you didn't even have to go through all that. You didn't even have to go through all of that, lady. Just stand up. All of that fighting you was doing, just stand up. And I think that when it comes to God's word, when it comes to just the daily living, the rules that he gives us, it's almost like, girl, if you just stood on your feet and not gone against what I said, you wouldn't even have to go through all of that crap you just went through. It wasn't even God's will for you to be doing all that. It wasn't even God's will for you to be doing all that. This is a reminder for myself. Maybe this helps somebody out. If you're doing stuff and you have no business doing it, and you know you don't have any business doing it, you don't need a sign. You don't need an angel of the Lord to appear. You know right now you don't have any business being over there. You know you don't. Stop. Just stop. It's not even worth it. The things you potentially open the door to, it is not even worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. That's the sermon today. Stop going through crap you don't even have to go through. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.